Good Thursday morning, guys. It is August 22nd. Thank you so much for tuning in to our little morning news update. Jaime is back in action. He's running the computer over here for us, so he'll join in the conversation when we circle back to your comments at the end of this. The way our updates work, I'm going to run down a couple stories that you guys are clicking on and sharing, and you are welcome to leave your comments and questions. We're trying to make this as much of a dialogue as possible. So just imagine me and Jaime curled up next to you at the office, chatting about the day's big stories. So we're going to start with the execution of a convicted murderer. Happened yesterday in Huntsville. Larry Swearingen was pronounced dead at 6:47 last night. His last words, "Lord, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing." Now, he has maintained that he is innocent in the murder of Melissa Trotter. She was killed back in 1998. Her body was found in Sam Houston National Forest the next year. She was from Willis. She was attending Montgomery College, and this was actually Swearingen's 6th execution date. It'd been stayed multiple times. He insisted again that he was innocent, but he did die by lethal injection at 6:47 last night. Melissa's parents were there. They stood next to prison officials who read a statement essentially saying that they felt finally that their daughter had justice. You can read more about the whole history of this case on khou.com if you are so inclined. This next story is a total left turn. I'm getting razzed on Twitter for sharing it, but I just think it's kind of funny because you see the headline. The headline is 6 seniors arrested for allegedly having sex in a public park. And I read the story yesterday, so I knew the context, but this morning when I came into work, our executive producer, thought it was high school seniors. It's not. 6 seniors between the ages of 62 and 85 were arrested for allegedly having sex in a public park. This happened in Connecticut. Obviously, we don't have video to show you in this story. That's probably a good thing for people of any age. Nobody needs to see that. But apparently this area, this park, was being advertised in a city hookup guide for the area in Fairfield, Connecticut, for, people to go and meet someone, have a little fun, part ways. But police set up surveillance cameras, not really sure what they'd find, and they found these 6 apparently. One of these suspects has been charged before. So in our link, we have a link to the original reporting from the CT Post. If you want to read up on that one, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny. Go get it. However old you are, go have fun. Just probably not in a public area. Police tend to look down on that. And finally, a story I covered this morning, a story that really deserves more coverage, and we're hearing that from so many of you, the fires burning in the Amazon right now. Pray for the Amazon is trending right now. Prayers for the Amazon because of a record number of fires burning in the rainforest. We're talking about more than 74,000 of them. That's an 82% increase from last year. And the video you're looking at right now is from cities that have just been overcome by the smoke. In Sao Paulo in the middle of the afternoon, it's starting to look like it's night because the cloud of smoke overhead is so thick. Now, Brazil's president said yesterday, there you go, there's Sao Paulo. That's in the middle of the day, guys. That's not nighttime video. Brazil's president said that non-governmental organizations, basically environmental groups, he thinks are starting these fires to make him look bad. He didn't provide any evidence of that, just said he had a feeling that that was the case. And if you look through Twitter, just be cautious about which photos you're sharing. Some are old from wildfires in the past. Just be cognizant of that. I also do want to share a link from CNET. If you pop over to my Twitter page or my Facebook page, I have the post there. CNET put together a list of things you can actually do if this matters to you, and it should matter to all of us because the Amazon is responsible for about 20% of the world's oxygen, not to mention all of the species of plants and animals and insects that call the Amazon home. things like, reducing how much paper and wood you use. There's a website search engine that you can use, and for every 45 searches, it plants a tree. Talking to your elected officials, making it known that this is something that matters to you. There's a whole list. So instead of just sharing a hashtag and pictures, you can actually take action if you want to. Again, that's on my Twitter page, @BrandyKHOU. It's also over on my Facebook page, which might be linked in the summary here. I'm not sure. We'll
yes,
throw it in there. Okay, there you go. Jaime says it is. Forecast today, we're looking at a temp of around 97 for a high, so highs in the mid to upper 90s. 20% chance of showers, so not as much as we've had in the past few days. All right, Jaime, what you got?
We'll start off, of course, by saying good morning to some of our viewers. Good morning to Christine, to Liz, to Betty. Thank you all for watching this morning. Good morning to Esteban, who watching from the Houston Heights. Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Let's see what some of the comments. Let's see what you are talking about. Amy says, this is, justice for my family. And I'm guessing this is in regards to the execution from last night. Let's see what else.
And Swearingen was the 4th person in Texas executed this year.
Let's see. Also, let's see what else will we have here. Rolando was asking, what were his last words that he had missed it?
Oh, his last words were, "Lord, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing." I wanted to also find the statement from Melissa's parents. They were there. They witnessed the execution. So did our reporter, Grace White. I know we have it, but it's not in this. It's not in this article. I'll try to find. What are some of the other comments, Jaime?
Let's see what else everybody's saying. Let's see, Linda's watching from Pearl, Mississippi. Thank you for watching. And of course, if y'all miss any of the stories that we cover at the beginning of this live stream, as soon as the video ends, it'll be archived and you can watch it from the beginning on Facebook and on YouTube. And as well as we also put links to all the stories that we cover in the caption and in the comments, so you guys can go and read more at length about the stories that we cover here.
I can't find that link. I know it's on here. It'll take me a second, but I will circle back to that because I think that's very important as well. But I hope that there's some sense of justice or relief for Melissa's family. I can't imagine what that's like for 20 years. Such a young life taken, ended far too soon.
Absolutely. I can't get over the images from the Amazon. I just, and I really, admittedly, I didn't obviously I've been sick for the past couple of days, but I didn't realize how bad that had gotten.
Yeah. And something I didn't show a lot of our viewers this morning, just because it's hard to look at. There are a lot of images circulating that I haven't confirmed, alleging that they're from the fire, from the aftermath, and it's all the animals left behind. These wildfires move so fast that often animals can't get out of the way, and they're really hard to look at. And it hasn't gotten the attention that it deserves. Part of that is because a lot of us are based in the northern hemisphere. Not as many network outlets, I think, have folks centered down there. So I'm glad that we're able to partner with news organizations down there and get some of that video, because that's where we got the video that you saw on screen just a minute ago. It's really important to be able to tell the story so that people see just how big of an issue it really is.
Circling back to the execution from last night, I did find the comments from Melissa Charter's family.
Thank you.
And she would have been 40 this year. She was, of course, 19 years old when she was murdered. Her parents said, "We want Melissa to be remembered as a happy, loving, kind spirit with a beautiful smile." So this is obviously probably, definitely some closure for this family that's been, living with this for so long.
Yeah, it changes your life forever. How can it not? Veronica asked, I didn't realize about the Amazon either. Do you know what's being done or who's working on it? I mean, it's a really difficult answer because it's multi-agency response, but in a lot of cases there's just, it's so overwhelming. We're talking about 74,000 fires, that it's more than like a crew can go out and put out. I know there have been a lot of folks who are just praying for rain, hoping that will douse some of the flames and put a lot of them out. But people are blaming different things for how they started too. That's a whole nother conversation. So Brazil's president says he thinks that environmental groups are setting the Amazon on fire, but a lot of those groups are firing back saying, there's drought, it's incredible heat, and since that president has taken office earlier this year, there's been a lot more development, a lot of logging, a lot of land use changes, and they think that could contribute to it. But it's worth noting that Amazon, this is the dry season. It's not as bad as it has been in years past. It could be much worse, some folks are saying, which is hard to believe when you talk about 74,000 fires. I mean, you're also talking about a chunk of land that is massive.
And I would imagine some of it's quite a bit of it's inaccessible as well in terms of trying to battle those fires, those wildfires.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I have to run to a shoot. So go ahead and leave your comments and questions. If you still have them, we'll try to circle back. Otherwise, there's an update coming up at 2:15 if you want to tune in for that. And we will see you tomorrow, which is Friday. Hallelujah.